On November 27, there will be a full moon in the sign of Gemini, which is an air sign represented by the twins Castor and Pollux in Greek mythology. Gemini is known for its intellectual curiosity, adaptability, and quick wit. This full moon will likely bring about a time of increased communication, learning, and socializing. In astrology, a full moon is a time of culmination and release. It marks the halfway point of the lunar cycle and is associated with emotions, intuition, and inner reflection. This particular full moon in Gemini may bring about a need for balance between opposing forces, such as logic and intuition, or socializing and alone time. It may also spark a desire for learning and exploring new ideas or perspectives. Overall, the full moon in Gemini in November 2023 is likely to be a time of intellectual stimulation and socializing, while also encouraging inner reflection and balance. This astrological event is expected to bring a surge of energy that will affect our emotions, communication, and relationships. Gemini is an air sign known for its intelligence, wit, and adaptability. As such, this full moon is likely to enhance our mental agility and curiosity, encouraging us to explore new ideas and ways of thinking. The full moon in Gemini will also emphasize the importance of communication in our lives. It is a time to express ourselves clearly and honestly, both in our personal and professional relationships. This lunar event may also highlight the need for balance and harmony in our interactions with others, reminding us to listen as much as we speak. The full moon in Gemini is a time to embrace our intellectual curiosity and prioritize healthy and honest communication in our relationships. By staying open-minded and willing to learn, we can make the most of this astrological energy and use it to move forward in our personal and professional lives. Questions to ask yourself on the full moon in Gemini. The full moon in Gemini is an astrological event that can bring about a range of emotions and experiences. If you're looking to explore this event further, here are some questions you can ask yourself. What am I curious about right now? Gemini is a sign that values learning and exploration, so use this full moon energy to dive deep into a topic that piques your interest. Am I communicating effectively in my relationships? Gemini is also associated with communication, so it's a good time to reflect on how you're expressing yourself in your personal and professional relationships. How can I bring more balance to my life? The full moon is a time of culmination and completion, so use this energy to assess whether you're giving enough attention to all areas of your life. What do I need to let go of in order to move forward? The full moon is also a time of release, so consider whether there are any beliefs, habits, or relationships that are holding you back from reaching your full potential. By asking yourself these questions, you can gain greater insight into yourself and the world around you. During the full moon in Gemini, main message to myself and everyone for the full moon in Gemini. The full moon in Gemini is a time of heightened communication and mental clarity. This is a time to express yourself, connect with others, and embrace change. The energy of this full moon encourages us to let go of old thought patterns and beliefs that no longer serve us. It's a time to release any mental blocks that may be holding us back from achieving our goals. During this full moon, it's important to be mindful of the words we use and how we communicate with others. It's easy to get caught up in misunderstandings and miscommunications, so take the time to listen and express yourself clearly. This is also a great time to start new projects and pursue intellectual endeavors. Remember that change is inevitable, and this full moon in Gemini is reminding us to embrace it with open arms. Let go of any fears or doubts and trust that everything will work out for the best. Use this full moon energy to connect with others, express yourself, and embrace the power of your mind. Be grateful. The full moon in Gemini is a time to express gratitude for the connections we have with others. Gemini is the sign of communication and socializing, and during this full moon, we may feel more inclined to reach out to those in our lives who have supported us. This is a time to acknowledge the people who have helped us along the way and show our appreciation for their presence in our lives. One way to express gratitude during this full moon is to write a letter or send a message to someone who has made a difference in your life. Let them know how much you appreciate them and the impact they have had on your journey. This can be a powerful way to deepen your connections and foster a sense of gratitude in your life. Another way to honor the full moon in Gemini is to gather with friends and loved ones. This is a great time to socialize and enjoy the company of those you care about. You may want to plan a dinner party or a night out with friends to celebrate the full moon and the connections you share. In summary, the full moon in Gemini is a time to express gratitude for the people in our lives and the connections we have with them. Whether through writing a letter or gathering with friends, take this opportunity to show your appreciation and deepen your relationships. How to live with the full moon in Gemini. The full moon in Gemini is a powerful time for communication, mental clarity, and social connections. To live with this energy, it's important to focus on communication and connections with others. One way to harness the power of this full moon is to engage in meaningful conversations with loved ones or colleagues. This is a great time to share ideas, brainstorm, and collaborate on projects. Another way to embrace the energy of the full moon in Gemini is to focus on self-expression. This is a time to let your creativity flow and to express yourself in new and exciting ways. Whether through writing, art, music, or dance, allow yourself to explore new forms of self-expression and see where they take you. Finally, remember to take care of your mental health during this time. The energy of the full moon in Gemini can be intense, so be sure to prioritize self-care. Activities like meditation, yoga, or journaling to stay grounded and centered. By focusing on communication, self-expression, and self-care, you can make the most of the full moon in Gemini and harness its powerful energy for your personal growth and development. What do I need to balance between on the full moon in Gemini? The full moon in Gemini, which usually occurs in November or December, is a time when you need to balance between your need for social interaction and your need for personal space and introspection. Gemini is a social and communicative sign, and it encourages us to connect with others and engage in meaningful conversations. However, during the full moon, the energy is more intense, and you may feel overwhelmed by the constant stimulation and activity. To balance these energies, it is important to find a way to express yourself and connect with others while also taking time for yourself and allowing yourself to recharge. This could involve setting healthy boundaries with others, practicing mindfulness or meditation, or engaging in creative activities that allow you to express your thoughts and feelings in a constructive way. Remember, the key to finding balance during the full moon in Gemini is to stay grounded. Center yourself, and be true to your own needs and desires. Forgive. The full moon in Gemini is an ideal time to seek forgiveness from those you may have wronged, and also to forgive those who have wronged you. Gemini is a sign that is associated with communication, intellect, and adaptability. During this time, you may feel a strong urge to express yourself and communicate your thoughts and feelings to those around you. Forgiveness is an important aspect of personal growth and healing. It allows us to let go of negative emotions and move forward with a sense of peace and closure. It is important to remember that forgiveness is not about forgetting or excusing the actions of others, but rather about releasing the hold that those actions have on us. If you are seeking forgiveness from someone, it is important to approach them with sincerity and humility. Acknowledge your wrongdoing and take responsibility for your actions. Express your remorse and offer a genuine apology. It is important to remember that forgiveness cannot be forced and that the other person may need time to process their emotions and decide whether or not to forgive you. If you are struggling to forgive someone who has wronged you, it may be helpful to try to see things from their perspective. Consider the circumstances that led to their actions and try to understand their motivations. Remember that forgiveness is a process and that it may take time to fully let go of negative emotions. Ultimately, the full moon in Gemini provides an opportunity to practice forgiveness and strengthen our relationships with those around us. Whether seeking forgiveness or offering it, approach the process with an open heart and a willingness to grow and heal. Be grateful. The full moon in Gemini is a time to express gratitude for the connections we have with others. Gemini is the sign of communication and socializing, and during this full moon, we may feel more inclined to reach out to those in our lives who have supported us. This is a time to acknowledge the people who have helped us along the way and show our appreciation for their presence in our lives. One way to express gratitude during this full moon is to write a letter or send a message to someone who has made a difference in your life. Let them know how much you appreciate them and the impact they have had on your journey. This can be a powerful way to deepen your connections and foster a sense of gratitude in your life. Another way to honor the full moon in Gemini is to gather with friends and loved ones. This is a great time to socialize and enjoy the company of those you care about. You may want to plan a dinner party or a night out with friends to celebrate the full moon and the connections you share. In summary, the full moon in Gemini is a time to express gratitude for the people in our lives and the connections we have with them. Whether through writing a letter or gathering with friends, take this opportunity to show your appreciation and deepen your relationships. How to live with the full moon in Gemini. The full moon in Gemini is a powerful time for communication, mental clarity, and social connections. To live with this energy, it's important to focus on communication and connections with others. One way to harness the power of this full moon is to engage in meaningful conversations with loved ones or colleagues. This is a great time to share ideas, brainstorm, and collaborate on projects. Another way to embrace the energy of the full moon in Gemini is to focus on self-expression. This is a time to let your creativity flow and to express yourself in new and exciting ways. Whether through writing, art, music, or dance, allow yourself to explore new forms of self-expression and see where they take you. Finally, remember to take care of your mental health during this time. The energy of the full moon in Gemini can be intense, so be sure to prioritize self-care. Activities like meditation, yoga, or journaling to stay grounded and centered. By focusing on communication, self-expression, and self-care, you can make the most of the full moon in Gemini and harness its powerful energy for your personal growth and development. What routine to do on the full moon in Gemini? The full moon in Gemini is an exciting time for communication, learning, and socializing. During this time, you can take advantage of the energy by focusing on activities that stimulate your mind and help you connect with others. One great routine to do on the full moon in Gemini is to attend a networking event or social gathering. This is an excellent time to meet new people and make connections that can benefit you in your personal and professional life. You can also take a class or workshop to learn something new or share your knowledge with others. Additionally, the full moon in Gemini is a time to express yourself creatively. You can write, draw, dance, or engage in any other form of artistic expression that resonates with you. This is an excellent time to let your imagination run wild and explore new ways of expressing yourself. Overall, the full moon in Gemini is a time to connect with others, learn new things, and express yourself creatively. By taking advantage of this energy, you can enhance your social life, expand your knowledge, and tap into your inner creativity. What ritual to do on the full moon in Gemini? The full moon in Gemini is a time of heightened communication, creativity, and mental clarity. This is a great time to focus on developing your communication skills, learning new things, and connecting with others. One ritual you can do during this time is to write down any limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns that are holding you back from effective communication. Then, burn the paper and release those thoughts into the universe, allowing yourself to let go of old patterns and embrace new ones. Another ritual you can do is to meditate on your throat chakra, which is associated with communication. You can visualize a bright blue light filling your throat, helping you to speak your truth and communicate with clarity and confidence. Finally, you can use the energy of the full moon in Gemini to connect with others. Reach out to friends or family members you haven't spoken to in a while. Or attend a social event where you can meet new people and engage in stimulating conversations. This is a great time to expand your social circle and make meaningful connections. What to focus on during the full moon in Gemini as an Aries rising? During the full moon in Gemini, Aries rising, individuals should focus on their communication skills and relationships. This is a time to express yourself clearly and honestly, while also being open to hearing others' perspectives and ideas. Gemini is a sign that values learning and intellectual growth. So this is a good time to engage in activities that stimulate the mind, such as reading, writing, or attending a class or workshop. As an Aries rising, you may also feel a strong desire for independence and autonomy during this time. It's important to balance this urge with the needs of your relationships and partnerships. This can be a time to reflect on how you can show up more fully in your relationships while still honoring your own needs and boundaries. Overall, the full moon in Gemini is a time for growth, learning, and connection. By staying open-minded and communicative, you can make the most of this energy and deepen your relationships with others. What to focus on during the full moon in Gemini as in Gemini rising? As a Taurus rising, the full moon in Gemini is an excellent time to focus on your communication skills and how you express yourself to others. This full moon is all about enhancing your communication abilities and finding new ways to express your thoughts and ideas. During this time, you may want to explore new ways of communicating, such as learning a new language or trying your hand at writing. You may also want to focus on improving your listening skills, as communicating effectively involves not only speaking but also listening actively. Additionally, the full moon in Gemini may bring up some emotional turmoil, so it's important to take care of yourself during this time. Make sure to get enough rest, practice self-care, and surround yourself with positive energy. Overall, this full moon can be a powerful time for growth and self-improvement. So embrace it and use it as an opportunity to enhance your communication skills and connect with your emotions. What to focus on during the full moon in Gemini as a Leo rising? As a Leo rising, the full moon in Gemini can be a powerful time for you to focus on your communication skills and social connections. Gemini is an air sign that is known for its curiosity, flexibility, and ability to adapt to new situations quickly. During the full moon, you may feel a surge of energy and excitement that can help you to connect with others in meaningful ways. One way to make the most of this energy is to focus on improving your communication skills. This could involve practicing active listening, expressing yourself more clearly and effectively, or learning a new language. You may also want to focus on building stronger social connections by attending networking events, reaching out to old friends, or joining a new group or organization. Another way to harness the energy of the full moon in Gemini is to embrace your inner explorer. This may involve taking a trip, trying a new hobby or activity, or simply stepping out of your comfort zone and trying something new. Remember, this is a time to embrace your sense of curiosity and adventure, so don't be afraid to take risks and explore new opportunities. Overall, the full moon in Gemini can be a powerful time for you to focus on your communication skills, social connections, and personal growth. By embracing your inner explorer and focusing on building stronger connections with others, you can make the most of this exciting energy and create positive changes in your life. What to focus on during the full moon in Gemini as a Virgo rising? As a Virgo rising during the full moon in Gemini, you may find yourself feeling especially curious and communicative. This full moon is a good time to focus on expressing yourself clearly and effectively, both in your personal relationships and in your professional life. You may also find that new ideas and opportunities come your way during this time, so it's important to stay open-minded and adaptable. This is a great time to network and make new connections, as well as to collaborate with others on projects that require creative thinking and communication skills. As a Virgo rising, you may also want to focus on staying organized and grounded during this time. With so much mental energy in the air, it can be easy to get overwhelmed or scattered. Make sure to take breaks when you need them and prioritize self-care to stay balanced and centered. Overall, the full moon in Gemini is a time of growth, communication, and new beginnings. So embrace the opportunities that come your way and enjoy the ride. What to focus on during the full moon in Gemini as a Libra rising? During the full moon in Gemini, as a Libra rising, you may want to focus on communication and socializing. Gemini is the sign of communication, and with it being a full moon, it is a time of heightened emotional energy. As a Libra rising, you are naturally social and enjoy being around people. So this is a great time to connect with others and have meaningful conversations. You may want to focus on strengthening your relationships with others, whether it be through spending time with friends or having heart-to-heart conversations with loved ones. This is also a great time to network and connect with new people who share your interests. In addition to socializing, you may want to focus on finding balance in your life. As a Libra rising, you value harmony and balance, and the full moon in Gemini may bring up some internal conflicts or indecisiveness. Take some time to reflect on what areas of your life need more balance and make a plan to work towards achieving it. Overall, this full moon in Gemini is a great time for connection, communication, and finding balance in your life as a Libra rising. What to focus on during the full moon in Gemini as a Scorpio rising? As a Scorpio rising, the full moon in Gemini can be an intense and transformative time for you. This full moon may bring issues related to communication, social connections, and mental clarity to the forefront. Here are some tips on what to focus on during this time. Communication. Focus on expressing yourself clearly and effectively. This is a good time to have important conversations or to share your thoughts and ideas with others. Use your intuition to guide you in your interactions with others. Social connections. The full moon in Gemini can also bring attention to your social life. Take time to connect with friends and loved ones, or to make new connections. This is a good time to network and build relationships that can support you in your personal and professional life. Mental clarity. This full moon can also bring mental clarity and insight. Take time to reflect on your thoughts and feelings, and to gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your surroundings. This can help you make important decisions and move forward with greater confidence. Remember to stay grounded and centered during this intense time. Use meditation, journaling, or other mindfulness practices to help you stay connected to your inner wisdom and intuition. Trust yourself and the journey you are on, and know that this full moon is here to support you in your growth and transformation. What to focus on during the full moon in Gemini as a Sagittarius rising. As a Sagittarius rising, the full moon in Gemini brings a focus on your communication and networking skills. This is a time to connect with others and exchange ideas, whether it be through social media, networking events, or simply having deep conversations with those around you. Your natural curiosity and thirst for knowledge will be heightened during this time. So be sure to take advantage of any opportunities for learning and growth. It's also important to be mindful of any potential conflicts that may arise during this time, as the full moon can intensify emotions and communication breakdowns. Use your diplomatic skills to navigate any disagreements and work towards finding a resolution that benefits all parties involved. Additionally, this full moon may bring up some inner conflicts within yourself, especially regarding your beliefs and values. Take some time to reflect on what truly matters to you and how you can align your actions with your core principles. Overall, embrace the energy of the full moon in Gemini as a time for connection, communication, and growth. Use your Sagittarius rising traits of curiosity, open-mindedness, and diplomacy to navigate any challenges that may arise. What to focus on during the full moon in Gemini as a Capricorn rising. During the full moon in Gemini as a Capricorn rising, there are a few key areas to focus on for your personal growth and development. As a Capricorn rising, you are naturally ambitious and hardworking. But during this full moon, it's important to balance that drive with a focus on communication and relationships. Gemini is the sign of communication and social connections. So this is an ideal time to work on improving your communication skills and building stronger relationships with those around you. This could be through having important conversations with loved ones or networking with colleagues and peers in your professional life. Additionally, as a Capricorn rising, you may tend to be overly focused on your goals and ambitions, sometimes at the expense of your personal life. Use this full moon to reflect on your work-life balance and make any necessary adjustments to ensure you are nurturing your personal relationships and taking time for self-care. Overall, the full moon in Gemini is a time for growth and connection. And as a Capricorn rising, focusing on communication and relationships will help you achieve your goals while maintaining balance in all areas of your life. What to focus on during the full moon in Gemini as Aquarius rising. During the full moon in Gemini, which is a time of heightened communication and intellectual curiosity, Aquarius rising individuals may want to focus on developing their communication skills and expanding their knowledge base. As an Aquarius rising, you are naturally curious and enjoy learning new things, so use this full moon energy to explore new topics and ideas. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, so this is an excellent time to work on your public speaking, writing, or other forms of expression. You may find that your words flow more easily and that you are able to articulate your thoughts and ideas more clearly. Additionally, this full moon may bring up some emotions and feelings related to your relationships and connections with others. As an Aquarius rising, you value your independence and may struggle with intimacy at times. Use this full moon energy to reflect on your relationships. and how you can improve your communication and connection with those around you. Overall, the full moon in Gemini is a time of exploration, communication, and connection. As an Aquarius rising, focus on developing your communication skills and deepening your relationships with those around you. What to focus on during the full moon in Gemini as a Pisces rising? As a Pisces rising during the full moon in Gemini, there are a few areas that you can focus on to make the most of this celestial event. Firstly, Gemini is an air sign, which means that communication and intellectual pursuits are emphasized during this time. As a Pisces rising, your natural creativity and intuition can be used to complement this energy. This is a great time to engage in deep conversations, explore new ideas, and seek out new knowledge. Another area to focus on during this full moon is your personal relationships. Gemini is a social sign, and this is a great time to connect with loved ones, make new friends, and network with others. As a Pisces rising, you have a natural empathy and sensitivity that can be used to strengthen your relationships. Take this opportunity to show your loved ones that you care and to deepen your connections. Finally, the full moon is a time of release and letting go. This is a great time to reflect on any habits or behaviors that are no longer serving you and to release them. As a Pisces rising, you may have a tendency to hold on to things for too long, so this is a great time to practice letting go and moving on. Trust that the universe has your back, and that by releasing what no longer serves you, you are making room for new blessings to come into your life.